What's up guys, Irish Turtle here, and welcome to How to Capitao. So in today's video, I'm going to be covering out how to play Capitao, where I think he's best used, and what I think of the operator overall. So without any further ado, let's get straight in. So to begin with, his unique ability is the TAC MK0. It's a tactical crossbow that can fire asphyxiating bolts and micro smoke grenades. So for those of you that don't understand all of that, basically his asphyxiating bolts, think almost like smoke's grenade, except it's in a more condensed, smaller area, and it's more accurate with a further range to it. So essentially, you can shoot it at a longer range, but it's in a smaller, concentrated area. And the micro smoke grenades, it's a similar principle as a smoke grenade, except again, it's in a more concentrated area, and it's more accurate and can be launched further. Now, you get 2 of each of these kind of bolts, and that's pretty much his ability in a nutshell. Now we're going to move on to his loadout. So you can either have the Para 308 assault rifle or the M249 light machine gun. Now personally, never been a fan of light machine guns, so I recommend using the Para 308. It's fairly useful and it's a fairly versatile gun. I put the ACOG scope on that, the compensator and the forward grip. His secondary weapon is the PRB92 handgun. You'll have seen this as well in Caviara's video, and it's actually the same make of gun. The only difference is this isn't non-lethal, it doesn't come with its own suppressor naturally, and it's better at closer ranges as well, so that's pretty much all there is to it. And then gadget-wise, he comes with a frag grenade and stun grenade. Now, I know in these videos I normally say that loadout is completely up to you, but I recommend, gadget-wise, you go with the frag grenades, because I can see this being patched out very soon, because with his asphyxiating bolts and a frag grenade, this class at the minute is super overpowered. Giving the ability to actually push players towards a frag grenade or die to your bolt is a really unfair thing to be able to do, and I imagine Ubisoft will probably get rid of this and replace the frag grenade with a breaching charge, so you have to choose between breaching charges and stun grenades. So that is something to bear in mind, and at the minute it's definitely worth using a frag grenade with this class. We're going to briefly look at the headgear now. So he comes with 3 variants, the same as Caviera. He has his default, he has the Skull Rain camouflage one, and then he has the Cadaver, which is only available to those of us with the Season Pass, unfortunately. And personally, I do think the Season Pass skin is probably the coolest for the headgear. Again, we'll just quickly go through the bio for the character, so you guys can sort of read that if you want and pause it. But without any further ado, let's get into some gameplay, and I'll talk to you guys about the class overall. Okay, so after playing Capitao for a while, I kind of found that his ability is best used very similar to that of when you're playing Smoke, in the sense that all you need to really use it for is area denial. So when you see an enemy in a position that you don't want them, you sort of aim your crossbow towards them or around them, fire it, and use it to sort of move them around. So as you just saw there, I fired my crossbow bolt, and essentially what it did was it pushed that character away. And again here you got a case there's an enemy behind a wall, so I drop my crossbow bolt. It's a case of either he moves or he dies to my crossbow bolt. And that's pretty much how you'll find you use his class more often than anything else, in that level of all you need to do is push people around with his bolts, especially the asphyxiating ones, because you can just launch the bolt in the direction of an enemy, and if they're behind, say, like a desk or behind cover, once you've hit them with that crossbow bolt, they'll move away from there. So in a lot of respects, this character is perfect for sort of aggressive style players who like to try and attack the enemy as much as they possibly can. So again there you see me launch a crossbow bolt so that Mute's no longer behind the desk, and then I follow up with a couple of grenades in the room just so that I can deal with him wherever he's moved to. So that's pretty much how I see his class being used. It's very much a class for moving around, being as aggressive as you possibly can. And again here you'll see the similar sort of thing, but with the smoke bolts. It's a case of you put it down to lay cover for you to move across with, and because of the level of accuracy to it, you can actually use these bolts quite effectively in covering your movements. As you see here, I cover the entire room, sprint across, and get behind cover. And that's how this class does, and it's where it shines, in that level of it allows you to use aggressive play compared to other operators, say, who maybe don't allow that level of aggressive play. And again, it doesn't really work out for me completely, but you get the point. Now, I did test a couple of other theories while I was playing, one of which was, could the bolts burn down barricades? Unfortunately, they don't burn the barricades down, which I was a little bit disappointed with, but I thought it was worth trying out anyway. But overall, like I say, the class itself is for those of you who like to play aggressively, and it's for moving enemies out of positions where you might have a stalemate where you're popping in and out of cover. Now, I do want to say that this class can be overpowered at times, and this is a moment you'll see just now where I absolutely decimated an entire team with like the two asphyxiating crossbow bolts. And that's where this class like makes you feel amazing, is when you can pop an entire team with a crossbow bolt from like across the room while they're all behind cover. So as you see there's a couple of guys behind cover. I fire a crossbow bolt. I actually land 3 asphyxiating kills. I launch through the bolt and I actually get the 4th kill. And like I say, that's where the class shines, with those levels of getting kills on enemies that are behind cover, forcing them to move either into open locations or away from objectives. And that's, I think, where people are going to start using this character to push enemies into locations that you want them, or out of locations that you don't want them. And I can imagine it's going to be a case of secure the area, bomb. These are going to be perfect abilities for you to use, and this operator is really going to shine in that. Hostage is a little bit different, because obviously, like smoke, if you hit around the hostage with that bolt, that hostage is going to die, unfortunately. There's no two ways about it. The length of time that effect lasts, it will kill the hostage, unfortunately. So that's something you're going to have to watch out for if you are playing this operator. But overall, I love the way he plays. I think he's definitely for those of you that like to be aggressive. If you've got a good team backing you up, maybe having like a Blitz or a Montagne covering you from the front, you're definitely going to work out well with this character, and I think he's definitely one to watch out for when you're playing on defense. So that's pretty much Capitao in a nutshell. It's a very short video in comparison to Caveira, but he's a lot easier to sort of explain and talk about than she was. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this short how-to video. If you have, feel free to hit that like button, subscribe for more Rainbow Six Siege content, and I'll see you in the next one.